officially welcome you to this epoch-making event. Thinkation 2022 is a special edition, a flagship event which started in 2018 by Dr. Ubong King, the president of the Ubong King Foundation, as a means to combat the growing unemployment and poverty concern in Nigeria and Africa at large. The burden of solving this problem was so heavy that in Dr. Ubong King's heart that he had to retire early from a company he started to channel all his energy and time to the actualization of this mandate. Thinkation, which is a poetic combination of two words, thinking and education, is an initiative that is promoting the importance of infusing critical thinking to education in order to acquire problem-solving skills that will be channeled towards solving our economic problems and lifting many young people out of poverty. With that said, I would like to especially invite the convener, Ambassador Dr. Ivy Unyime-King, as she gives her opening address.
The press represented here, the organizing committee for the Ubong King Foundation and volunteers of the foundation, friends and volunteers of the foundation. I welcome you all to the 5th edition of our flagship event, Thinkation, and it's the 2nd edition since our great founder, Ubong King, departed this side of the divide for his eternal abode on the 26th of December 2020. The theme for this year's event is Create Your World. It was Abraham Lincoln who said something really profound. He said that the best way to predict your future is to create it. And Norman Vincent Peale also said that if you change your thoughts, you will change your world. So on the basis of all this, like we say at the foundation, Ubong King may not be here in his earthly suit anymore, but he left indelible marks on the sands of time, and his legacy will continue to speak for generations after him because he built it to outlive him. We are blessed and honored, all of us at the foundation, to have worked closely with him and to be part of the great work he started. And also we are blessed to extend his hands on this side to ensure that the great work he started continues to speak in myriads of beautiful expressions. Thinkation is a flagship annual event of the Ubong King Foundation, which was conceived by our founder, Ubong King, about 5 years ago. Its maiden edition held in 2018, right here in Lagos. This event was born out of the founder's burning pain point. Having known and tested failure, is somebody that had tested lots of failures and defeats in life, and rising from the ashes of those defeats to success and impactful living. His life experiences birth a strong passion to raise young entrepreneurs with a mandate to impact their world through creative thinking in addition to education. He didn't believe that education was enough because a lot of people are educated but they cannot think. So he also wanted to win them from a dependency mindset to a productive one, as well as influencing the hungry minds in this generation to reposition themselves and get productive. Thinkation is a creative major, in case you're wondering what Thinkation means. It's a creative major of thinking and education. We believe that thinking is the missing component in our young minds and businesses today. And that is why we are painstakingly putting this together to challenge parochial mindsets and provoke their critical thinking processes. A mind that has been trained to think critically is one that has been stretched and can take on challenging situations and think through to solutions that work. Africans all over the world, you can attest to that, are celebrated for being well educated. We are well educated in Africa, and for high and excellent performances, because outside of these shows we receive amazing reports of Africans, of Nigerians who are doing exceptional in their fields of endeavor beyond these shows. So we are well educated. in the educational spheres, we are not lagging behind. But sadly, a lot of our communities remain impoverished and underdeveloped, which is the irony. Although Africa is richly endowed with natural resources, she has to depend on the expertise and influence from the Western world. While there's nothing wrong with the Western influence, by the way, it has its positives. It is imperative that Africans develop their minds and know what to do with what we have in order to live in a better system. We believe that the challenges on our continent is not caused by what we do not have, but what we do have that we have failed to utilize because our thinking processes are impaired by a mindset that only thinks of today, lives for the here and now, and lacks futuristic thinking. Because we have a culture of just living for what we can get today, so many people are not thinking of the future. This is our heartbeat and heart cry at the Ubong King Foundation. We must transcend education and infuse thinking into education for phenomenal results. To get the sort of results we desire that can facilitate change on our continent, we need to exercise Thinkation, which is thinking plus education. The Ubong King Foundation hopes to help Africans from all walks of life to bridge this critical gap by nurturing the minds and thought processes of Africans through this initiative. It is important to have the productive population of a nation well-groomed mentally to the point where they want to exceed the status quo that prevails in their surroundings in order to attain their full potential in career, finance, health, business, and relationships. We need to tamper with mindsets. Thinkation is a platform which features established transformational leaders, including young and upcoming lions from different facets of life, to share experiences, insights, and secrets that can help people to achieve extraordinary impact and accelerate their personal growth trajectory in business and national development. We don't have speakers who come in and tell audio stories. We bring in proven speakers that can give a clear picture of how they got to where they are in order to encourage the ones that are coming behind. It is an intimate forum that presents leadership-driven conversations with quick-hitting expert presentations, followed by in-depth discussions with experts. This edition is a hybrid edition. I'll explain that. We are going to have both a virtual audience and an on-site live audience simultaneously. We are not unmindful of the COVID-19 pandemic, hence the need to control numbers, but at the same time, we want to ensure that the message of this conference gains wide traction and participation, for which this conference is known for. This edition is coming on the heels of the memorial edition in 2021, which happened right after our founder, Ubong King, also known as the troublemaker, exited this side of life. Even death could not stop us. His assignment was so purpose-driven and very impactful that over a year after, his messages still continue to speak volumes and serve as a roadmap for budding and even established entrepreneurs. His numbers doubled, tripled online after he passed, and his platforms gained a lot of traction. So we are gathered here today as proof that Ubong King lives on. The speakers for Thinkation 2022 are great thought leaders. They are great thought leaders in different fields of endeavors, prolific speakers, writers, coaches, mentors, and mentees. In their unique ways, they will share from their wealth of experiences. Like I said, no audio stories, proven stories. They will share from this wealth of experiences, challenges, and they will motivate participants to think in terms of solutions instead of giving into problematic situations and wallowing in despair. The speakers are set to direct participants to life and business success using the principles that have worked for them to give clarity, direction, know-how, strategy, vision, as well as inspire them to take strategic actions to succeed. Thinkation is a platform where successful people share their authentic stories, we can't emphasize this enough, of both victories and triumphs and how they navigated the tough times. It is also a platform where up and coming young people are given a platform for expression. This is the reason why we have the COPs. We are having a session for the teenagers and we call that the COPs. These are the teenagers who also tell their story of little beginnings, which we do not despise. We believe in catching them young. We will also have seasoned music artists, comedians, and a spoken word artist to add color to the event and enrich the experiences of participants at the conference. There's never a dull moment at Thinkation. And our confirmed speakers include Nevas Mumba. Nevas Mumba is the former Vice President of Zambia and is also President of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy. He's not a newbie on the Thinkation stage. We've had him come before. We also have other guest speakers. We have Dr. Demola Shogunle, who is the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC. We have Just Ibe, who is an economic growth and development consultant. We have Ugochukwu Omelgu, Chief Visionary Officer of Merinos Consulting and Mentoring Limited. We have Glenn Davis. Glenn Davis is a Black American and is a perfume connoisseur, brand ambassador for the perfume industry, and a US Navy veteran. And having him on this platform is strategic because our founder, Ubong King, was particular about smells and perfumes. And we are having him come on to tell us that story of how they met and what he is doing. We also have Isong Misodi, who is a frontline producer and filmmaker in Nollywood. She's a veteran in the industry. We have Charles Otudo, brand strategies and group principal consultant at Adstrat Brand Management. We also have John Obidi, who is a new media consultant. He's an international speaker and a development trainer. We have Steve Harris, who is known as a ruthless executioner. He's the CEO of H-Fusion. We also have on the executive panel Elvis Abuyere, the founder of Skywise Group. We have Ichechi Okonkwo, who is the CEO of Victoria Crest Homes. We have Dr. Kafiat, who is popularly known as Kafi, MD and CEO of Kafi Incorporated. And of course, we have Sako, who is going to be moderating alongside with Mary Ann. These are seasoned compares in the industry. At the Ubong King Foundation and myself, I want to say a big thank you for honoring our invitation to be part of today's press conference. Remember, Thinkation will always hold. There's no stopping us. This legacy lives on forever, and Ubong King lives on. How do I put this? You know, when a founder suddenly departs, when it's unexpected like that, of course it will throw everybody into crisis mode. But thank God we're able to arrest that because he succeeded in pouring out himself into a lot of us. Ubong King may not be here, but he has multiplied himself there are plenty of Ubong Kings, starting with the ones sitting with me right here, and the ones, some of them are right there behind. So we have a multiplicity of Ubong Kings represented who are like his hands extended to ensure that that vision continues. The initial thing was the confusion, the shock, and the pain of his departure, but we quickly had to put ourselves together because we worked with a man who was like a military style person in the sense that he did not allow anything to hold him back. So we have continued pushing that vision, and we trust that we'll take it to the very next level. You know, there's a difference between when somebody comes to tell stories and when somebody lives out their lives authentically, which was what Ubong King did. He told his stories authentically and he shared it on that platform. So one of the things that is unique about Thinkation, which I've consistently highlighted in my speech is the authenticity of the stories that come out on that platform. And as a result of that, it's been able to impact another person because they can genuinely see that you can move from point A to point Z, because this person has been able to do it. And we have a very vibrant volunteer group that Dr. Ubong King was personally involved with that group, pouring out his thoughts, pouring out his mentorship, and a wide group of other mentoring forums that he was a part of. So yes, there's follow-up, there's mentoring, but we want to, because you get better as you go along, and we hope to make it more structured so that we can have better results. But so far, the results have been fantastic. The testimonies and feedback have been awesome. In fact, when we passed, the level of testimonies that came out online, some we were not even aware. So we knew that we're making a lot of impact in this space.
My name is Alvin. I'm in charge of brand strategy and events for the foundation. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, how do we get people to attend? We have, first of all, we have a robust campaign strategy that we start running. Thinkation holds every January, except for the Memorial Edition because of what happened in December that had held in February. So it holds every January, and before it gets to January, we would have already started a campaign like in October, building up to January. So before that time, we open up the registration portal and we start getting people to register for the event so we can handle the logistics of that. So now, for every Thinkation event, we pick a venue. If we not had a venue, we didn't have a venue the last time, but we have a venue this time. So with that, we are able to plan and know who is coming. We have a response system to know who is coming, who is not coming. So that way we walk around our logistics to get people to come. And of course, usually we get a lot of people writing to us, they want to come from different parts. So we make plans to accommodate them. And at the same time, we let people know, okay, if we've given you a slot and you're not coming, let us know so that you don't take up someone else's seat. Usually the problem we have with Thinkation is not people coming. The problem is where to keep the people. That has always been our problem. It's free to attend. Everybody can attend. But for this particular edition, the last edition was 100% virtual. 100%. But for this one, we put one leg back on the ground. So what has happened is we have a venue for a controlled number of 300 or thereabouts, and we can't have everybody in that venue. So the criteria is, first of all, register. We now pick randomly. And of course, we have a special invited guest which we have to make numbers and we have to make seats available for. So that way we round up our whole. As I speak to you, the physical venue is sold out. We are trying to turn people back up. Everybody wants to come, but we cannot accommodate everybody.
In the aspect of funding, one of the things that we have learned to do is to bring sponsors on board. So there are some people that would say, okay, I'm interested in sponsoring, the program and all that. So we send out sponsor letters, and then people accept to sponsor, and that's also growing as we speak.
Using for this edition was given to us free by a friend of his.
Yeah.
Like,
so we are not paying for
we are not
venue.
paying anything for that. So and I use the word sold out. It's not a ticketed. I mean, it's fully. So you don't think we're charging them.
Yeah.
Thinkation is we are trying to create a different kind of conference from the conventional. So this is supposed to be like a carnival kind of conference where you have the music, comedy, everything infused into one. So usually it stretches ideally from 9 to about 2 p.m. So each speaker for this year has, apart from maybe the keynote speaker, has an average of 15 minutes, and there are just a few of them doing that. Then since it's hybrid, we have some speakers that are streaming in, and they have just 10 minutes, because the attention span on online is very short, so they have just 10 minutes. And we have a panel that sits for about 35 minutes, the kids panel for about 15-20 minutes. So that time is properly managed, infusing it with entertainment and everything. So we just have a good time on D-Day.
This is just what Ubong King lived for. He didn't believe in getting anything from. He didn't believe in depending on government to get what he wants. He was a solutions provider. If there was a challenge, he would put his head down and think up a solution. So these are ideals that he's been living throughout the ages, and he has been passing it on to everybody that comes within his sphere of influence. So that's one of the things. I also mentioned it in my speech, that one of the objectives for Thinkation is to win the young people from a dependency mindset. You know, from them thinking that, okay, I need handouts, from them, like Ubong King was a mentor to the students community. He started in Akwa Ibom State. He was grand patron of the students community, and he was able to mentor them to the point where they understood that they didn't need to line up on the road to get handouts from politicians in order to progress. So that is one commendable thing that he did, which I believe is cascading down. So the more we push out this message, I believe the more the message will hit, because it takes a while to transform a mindset. You know, somebody has spent years believing the same way, thinking the same way, you know, a narrow-minded view of life, and then another person comes with a different message to tell you that, look, this is not how it's supposed. It will take time to accept it, but we are not going to relent. We'll keep on pushing out that message, because we believe that the seeds that are sown will germinate and bear fruit, and we'll see it. We'll see it. Yeah.
Ubong King Foundation is immersed in various projects, but the strongest of our projects are mentorship sessions that we usually have. If you know, one of his packages is called Mentor Me. Mentor Me, we're taking it so far that we believe that once you see our growth pattern, it will be highly recognized in the near future. So we also have what we call the Hangouts. We have our Hangouts. Our Hangouts, everything is youth involved, is youth-based. We don't want a situation, because the founder of Ubong King was someone that believed that reforming the mind of the youths for structure is basically what will evolve our leadership. And he engaged so much in reforming their minds to the point that he went through all sorts of webinars, seminars, engagements, and we still have those webinars running. We still have those engagements running. We have his hangouts going on, and we still have his online trainings going on. In fact, we're developing his online training in such a way that once you see it, it could become almost, it is going to be almost like a course that you could willingly take if you choose to. The Ubong King Foundation, they're not giving up on any of his projects. In fact, they're evolving his projects and packaging it in such a way that it's easily accessible, user-friendly, and it's highly engaging to the youths out there.
Awesome.
The event is hybrid. As it's happening at the physical venue, you're seeing it online.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, we're working on a very strong multimedia system where the live stream will be pristine, like no break, good internet and everything. So you have the same experience you have at the physical venue, you have it online as well, just that you're not physically there.
And even after the day, people can still watch,
The stream
because it will still be on
It
YouTube.
will be on YouTube.
Your failure or your success is tied to your mind, not your size. And let me tell you something. By 7:30, the sun would have gone down. By 7 a.m. tomorrow, the sun will come up. The sun is not waiting for you. Time is not waiting for you. If you don't give your best now, you'll be an entertainment tool in the next future. So you need to take success as a pattern.
Everyone has a name.
Think enough, what you have is more than enough.
Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, and subdue. Build this whole earth. Pain is the down payment for gain. If you are still satisfied in that face, man, start play out. So be it.
Thinkation is loading.